About children and their well-being. And in today's subtopic, we'll see the expectation of parents and the society on children and how it can affect their lives both positively and negatively. You see, in children, we have the parents and the society plays a major role during the growth of children. And the role they play, it can either help them instill good behavior and help the children achieve goals, but also the higher expectations can make their children have poor mental health, and it can also affect their emotional well-being negatively. So first, we want to look at the common expectations of parents and the society. What are the expectations that the parents have and the society on children? So as a parent, you expect academic success. There's no parent who wishes their children to be academically poor. So they expect their children to prosper and to make it academically. We've seen the KCSE results are out, and a lot of parents are either celebrating or mourning. So many parents expect their children to perform well in schools. And this means children should have high grades, they should be competitive in exams, they should have prestigious careers. In university, they should be choosing prestigious careers. So that is the academic success that the parents or the society expects from children. Secondly, we have good behavior and obedience. Parents expect their children to have good behavior naturally and to be obedient at all times. The children should be following rules. They should be respecting the elderly, and they should be conforming to norms. So if you get your child is obedient, your child has good behavior, she's exemplary to others, such a child is easily embraced in the society. We have career and financial stability. The society expects you to make it in life, like you're in career-wise, and to have financial stability. They expect you to choose a secure or socially respected profession. What does that mean? You've seen a lot of parents they expect their children to go for white-collar jobs rather than menial jobs. And we've seen a lot of parents rebuking children who are even taking the artistic paths. We have children who are choosing DJing, MCing. The society doesn't easily embrace such children because they expect you to have a secure and socially accepted or socially respected profession. So to them, DJing and MCing is not a socially respected career, which is very wrong. Another one, we have social and cultural conformity. What is social and cultural conformity? This is where children adhere to traditions, gender roles, and social standards. You see, there are those traditions that we believe in at home and in the society. So the parents and the society expect a child to embrace such norms and to adhere to them. Although some norms may not be good, some norms may not be acceptable to this Gen Z, you see, there are things that they're not comfortable with. They see like they tend to see that it is outdated, and they don't easily accept it. And you'll find a lot of children being rebellious to such norms and traditions. So as much as the society expects these children to adhere to all these norms and traditions, there are children who don't feel comfortable adhering to some of these traditions and norms, and you find them being rebellious. And this creates a lot of problems between children and parents, or between children and the society. We have achievement at an early age. A lot of parents expect their children to be successful. They've set age targets and success against success. You see, a lot of parents expect you to have completed high school by 18, to have completed university by 23, 24, and then to be employed maybe by 25, 26, to be married by 28, 29. So once you find yourself that maybe you've not, by 25, you've not completed university, you start having problems with your parents and the society. You find that by 35, you're not married, you start having a lot of issues with the parents and the society, because they expect you by that time you should have achieved such things. So they've set age age they've set a strategy, they've set targets for you depending with the age. And once you don't achieve that, it starts becoming a problem. It starts creating wrangles in the homes. It starts creating wrangles in the community, which is never good at all. So what are the positive effects of these expectations of parents and the society on children? The positive effects are those effects that we see that are good. So the first positive effect is it creates motivation and discipline. So if you have high expectations for your child and the expectations are reasonable, they can encourage effort, persistence, and goal setting. So if the expectations are reasonable and achievable towards the child, you find this child is motivated to do more in his or her life. And if they are motivated to do more, they will have this self-discipline and they'll be able to achieve more. Secondly, we have a sense of direction. A child who is obedient, a child who has learned to follow what the parents are expecting from him, they'll have a sense of direction. You'll find them that they start making it in life because they have a path they are taking. They have a specific path that they are following. So this sense of direction makes them to achieve more. We also have skill development. Children, we've seen children who have expectations from parents and the society. They have skill development because the parents expect them to, after high school, you're supposed to do computer. After high school, after finishing computer, you are supposed to do a driving course as you wait to join campus. After joining campus, or maybe during campus, you can do CPA. You see? So such children are able to achieve skill development. So they learn a lot of skills, and learning a lot of skills will help them career-wise, because we are living in a competitive world. And what can save you is having a lot of skills, apart from the general career, the general career path you've taken in university or in college. Such skills will help you get employment faster, because you find there's maybe it's a doctor, they are advertising a doctor position and they want people who are computer literate, and you were not able to do computer after high school. You see, that becomes a minus for you. But if you get a lot of skills by through the direction of your parents or the society, you'll be able to make it in this competitive world. We have confidence. Children are able to gain confidence if the parents and the society are supportive. As much as they have a lot of expectations in you, if they are supportive, you'll have a lot of confidence. You've seen children who are making it in life because they feel like, my parents support me. So they know, even if once I do this and this and this, my parents are able to support me. My parents will hold my hands. They'll never leave me. And this comes in, maybe a child in the university, a child has done IT. And maybe once they come out there, there's no employment. If the parents are supportive enough, they'll be able to start up a business for this person. And this person has the confidence to make it in life, because they know, as much as my parents expect a lot from me, they are supportive enough. They provide resources for me. Even if the world is harsh to me, my parents are supportive, and my parents are making it easier for me to make it in life. So they gain a lot of confidence in themselves, and they are able to stand shoulder high amongst their peers. Having spoken about the positive effects. What are the negative effects of high expectations from parents and the society? The first negative effect is stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety because there is constant pressure to perform, and this can lead to fear of failure. So the parents are constantly reminding you to make it in life, and this gives you a lot of pressure. You'll always be in stress and you'll always be anxious because you don't know if you will perform. You see, because your parents expect a lot from you, and this constant pressure, you're fearing, what if I don't make it? What if I fail? And how will my parents take it if I don't make it in life? If I fail, maybe, let's say, the form fours who had done, the children who had done their form fours and they were waiting for their results. Some of them were very anxious and stressed because they were asking themselves, what if I don't impress my parents? What if my performance is poor? What if I don't make it to what they are expecting me to do? So you find such children will start having stress issues at an early age because they don't know how parents will react to their failure. Maybe they have very harsh parents who, once you fail, they'll not embrace you at all. So this will give these children a lot of pressure, and this will lead to stress and anxiety. We have low self-esteem. Low self-esteem because children may feel not good enough if they don't meet the expectation. Children who feel like maybe in their family setting, for example, during those KCP period back then, you find that a family, they expect their children to attain at least 350 marks and above. And then you know very well, even from class 6 towards class 8, you've been getting 330, 310, 315, and you've done your KCP, and maybe you don't know what to expect. You'll start having low self-esteem because maybe your siblings have been getting 400 marks, 390, and here you are, you know very well, you getting even 330 is a miracle. So such a child will start having so low self-esteem. They'll not be believing in themselves because already they know, my parents don't believe in me. My parents see me as a failure. So if they feel that they're not good enough, maybe compared to their siblings, compared to other people in the society, they feel like they are underperforming, and this will make them have low self-esteem. Also, high expectation will make children have a loss of individuality. So what is loss of individuality? Personal interests and talents may be ignored and go to waste. You see, your parents want you to take a certain path, but yourself, you've identified that I have a specific talent. So this talent may be underutilized, or it may not be utilized at all because your parents don't expect you to do that. I was giving earlier on, I gave an example of maybe DJing. A child maybe has a passion with DJing, but the parents want you to do nothing. So your dream of DJing will die because you don't want to disappoint your parent. Your dream of DJing will die because you'll see that if I do this DJing, my parent will not be happy with it. So your individuality will just fade away with time. That talent that you have, that skill maybe you've acquired slowly by learning, it will start diminishing because you'll find that you want to impress your parent more than how much you want to make it in life. So the individuality of such a child will just disappear, and it will go to waste. Also, we have burnout and depression. A child will feel like I have to do more. Every time they feel like I have to do more to make it in life, I have to impress my parent, I have to impress the society. So they will start overworking, and they will have lack of balance and harm their mental health. So burnout and depression is caused by the high expectation. Like parents and the society expect higher, or they expect more from you, even more than what you can bring to the table. So such things, they'll make you to start overworking. You find a child who is, once they come from school at around 6, after 6 they just get home, maybe wash their uniform, take a bath, and sit down and start doing their homework. Once they finish doing their homework, they take their supper and they're back to books. They'll have to read maybe till around 8 or 9. And after that, maybe there's a house where they need to do, or they go to sleep. In the morning, they have to wake up maybe 30 minutes earlier to go to their book so that they can make it in life, so that they can impress their parents and the society at large. So you find that these children, they overwork themselves, and their body the burnout makes their body weak. The burnout makes their body, even their health, it will start, they start having poor health because of that burnout and depression. We also have strained relationship. So strained relationships maybe at homes, the unrealistic demands from the parents, it will start creating a drift between the parent and maybe the children and the authority figures. So you've seen that the children who are expected to perform higher, you'll start having children who are rebellious because they feel like you are pressing them too much. You are pushing them too much, even more than their capability. And these children, once they feel that you are pushing them too much, they will even start being rebellious. So it's not like they like being rebellious. They've seen that you are expecting too much from them and they can't make it, and they don't want to have that burnout. They don't want to fall into depression. So since they don't want to fall into depression, you'll find that they want to protect themselves. They want to have a boundary on how much you can push them. And if these children start creating such boundaries, and if these children start identifying that, no, I can't do this, because if I do this, I'll be overstraining myself. And a parent who doesn't understand, they'll start seeing this child as rebellious. You'll find that some children are not even rebellious. It's the parent who think they are rebellious because the child has seen that I can't make it, I can't do this, I'm not able to impress my parents by doing this. So if the child is not able to do what their parents are telling him or her to do, the parents see them as rebellious. So it's not most likely that all children are rebellious, but the parents term others as rebellious because they are not able to achieve what they want them to achieve. So what is the long-term impact of high expectation from parents? We have perfectionism or fear of failure in adulthood. So a child who has grown impressing their parents, they always want to be perfect, even in their adulthood. They always want to impress people. They always want to ensure they keep up to what people and the society expect from them. So they always fear failure in their life. So you'll find an adult who can't do something because they fear that they will fail. And if they fear they will fail, they don't know what people, they're the people who have the mindset of, what will people think of me? What will people say? How will people view me? So this perfectionism and fear makes an adult have a very hard life. Also, we have difficulty in making independent choices. Children who have such a direction that they've been given by their parents, they're not able to think for themselves. They're not able to make any decision on their own. So such children have a very tough life because, for example, you've seen children that once they lose their parents, they become failures in life. You find a child who was very successful, they start becoming failures. Why? Because they are not able to make decisions on their own. They were not taught to make decisions on their own. They've been following a path that was set by their parents. So once they're in an age where they can make their own choices, you start seeing their lives just going haywire. Why? Because the parents set a certain path for them, and they've been following that path obediently to an extent that they are not independent. They can't make any choice. They can't make any decision. And this has affected many people in their adult life. We have emotional suppression and poor coordination of skills, because what they've been doing is impressing people. So they are suppressed emotionally, like they are not able to speak up. They are not able to express themselves because they were not taught to express themselves. They were not able to come up in public. They were brought up to always be under someone. So they will always be emotionally suppressed. Also, it will reduce creativity, and the children will not have any risk taking skills. So these children will not be able to come up with any idea, because their parents have always been the one to think for them. Their parents have always been the one to set goals for them. So they are not creative. They can't come up with anything. You find a person is employed in an environment where they are expecting their roles want them to come up with ideas, but these people can't come up with any idea, because there is no point in their lives they've ever come up with any idea on their own. They've been spoon-fed all their lives. So thinking on their own becomes it becomes a very difficult task. So we have healthy balance. How can we have a healthy parent and society expectation to children? First, we should parents and the society should set realistic and flexible expectations. Realistic and flexible how? Like, it's not a must a child to be 100%. Let's be flexible that even 70% is okay. 60% is okay. But if you expect a child to be 100%, this will affect this child negatively. So as parents and as a society, let's set realistic and flexible expectations. Secondly, let's value effort over results. As a parent, always look out, is my child doing enough? As much as they failed, but did they study? As much as they failed, did they go out and apply for jobs? So don't push them too much and they are already overworking themselves. So let's always value effort rather than results. Let's always value effort rather than success. If a child fails, let's embrace them. Maybe you are expecting your child to have a B+ in this KCSE that has been announced, and this child has attained a C+. At least let's appreciate that effort, that at least my child was able to finish his or her exam. There are children there who didn't do their KCSE. There are children who even got an X. Their exams were cancelled. Their results are still pending. Their results are withheld. But your child, at least they got their results, even if it's D, even if it's C-. At least they have their results. So let's always thank God and appreciate that effort that your child is making in this life. Also, we should encourage open communication. Don't be dictators. As parents, don't be dictators. Always be on the lookout for communication. Always encourage your child to communicate. Let them express how they feel on what you expect from them. Because if they express that themselves and how they feel, you'll see that these children will be able to say, I'm not comfortable with this, I've done this and this, but it's not working. At least you'll have a discussion and help this child to achieve their goals without being dictative. So let's always work at helping these children to communicate so that they'll be able to achieve their goals. Also, let's respect individual strengths and interests. Yes, as a parent, you want your child to become an engineer, but you've seen that as much as this child is performing, they're not into engineering. This child wants to be a journalist. Let's embrace them. Let's encourage them. And on as much as it's a career, that it's something that you like. You see, children who do things they like, rather than pushing them to do things. Children who do things they like out of passion, they'll always be happy. They'll always be doing something. They'll always be working, and they'll perform even in their work areas because it's something they've always admired. It's something they've always wanted to do. And lastly, let's prioritize mental and emotional well-being. You expect your child to be successful. Everyone wants their child to succeed in life. But will it be at an expense of their mental and physical health? So as much as we want our children to push them with love, give them expectations with love, push them to be the best, but with love. And your child can achieve everything if you love them, if you push them with love, if you embrace them at all stages. If they failed, if they've made it, always be there for your child. And if you are always there for your child, as much as you've set high goals and they either achieve it or they don't achieve it, always work on that relationship with your child. The relationship is more important than the goals itself. A child who is embraced at home will perform more even if they don't have good grades. So let's always be on the lookout to make sure our children perform better. Let's set realistic expectations and let's always push them with love. Thank you for following us. This is Gwira Gwira Podcast and I have been your host, Fiona Mogita. Have a blessed day.